Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Some of you have asked for a clarification on the progression with the plank series, so I just want to spend a minute or two talking about that and hopefully clarifying some things for you. We created the initial progression to give many of you an opportunity to move forward with the side plank and get beyond that sticking point for many of you, which was around 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and get closer to the 2.5 minute threshold that we think is appropriate for endurance in that sideline position. That's actually a challenging progression. When you get to the point where you're doing it for about 15 minutes or so, you don't need to extend it any further than that. However, what we see here every day in the lab is small little technique and form issues that really prevent people from making a lot of progress with that continuous progression. So I encourage you to check your form. Look in a mirror. Be sure your body is absolutely straight. If you're getting up from a chair and you've been sitting for a while, you're very likely to have some tightness in the front of your hip, and that's going to make or cause a little bit of a crease at your hips, and therefore work the hip flexors more than really training stability in that sideline position with your entire body and your perfect form with that continuous progression. When you do it for as long as 15 minutes, if you get there, it's really tiring. So the truth is, for most of you, I'm not going to program that more than once a week. And if you go into it on a particular day when it's programmed and you're not feeling up to doing it, you want to move to the moving plank, do that. It's absolutely fine. Now, the moving plank, I believe, is the most important and critical. And the reason is this. You have the opportunity to get into and out of those positions frequently throughout that moving plank. It's not terribly fatiguing. The fatigue doesn't last because you're not holding it for a duration of time and really frying those muscles. So we're activating and creating stability, coming out of it, and then moving back into it again. I think that's an excellent way and very specific to our sports and to movement in general. Okay? Now, to progress that series, again, come back and chase the form down. We're looking for absolutely straight legs. We're looking to bring the toes right in toward the shin and lengthen the back of the body. We're looking for perfectly straight lines with the body. And I can tell you, every person that comes in, that full plank, if you're moving and using that full plank with the reach, it is so difficult to keep your body absolutely still and do that correctly. So yes, how do we progress that moving plank? Again, to back up a little bit, if you're using the half front plank with the reach and you feel that's perfect and you're ready to go and you've laid that dowel in your low back and you see that dowel's not moving, you're doing that really well, you can progress to the full front plank with the reach. Really challenging to make that move, but once you do that, you're now in a position where you can actually train in a very dynamic way that rotational stability that exercise is so fantastic for. All right? So the progressions are not so much adding more reps and more sets, but perfect form. Perfect form with these exercises allows you to train authentically and truly get the benefits from them. If you're creasing at the hip, if you're bending the knee, if you're pointing the toes rather than bringing them up to the shin, those kinds of things diminish the potential benefits from the exercise. If you're doing all of that perfectly and you can knock out a bunch of reps on the side and then from the front with no form and no compensation, then don't worry about progression. You're doing great. You've mastered the stuff. From there, simply rock on and bring that stability and strength into the other exercises you're doing. You're all set. All right? Hope this helps. We'll see you soon.